NY News. Senate to investigate Manila water supply woes that brought misery to thousands of residents in Metro Manila. The Agriculture Department stands by the efficiency of cloud seeding operation to mitigate the effects of El Niño phenomenon in the country. Malacanang appeals to the Congress to break the impasse on the 2019 budget proposal. And Caragao local music artists board the iconic Wish FM bus and serenade wishers in Surigao City. Good evening. The Agriculture Department stands to the efficiency of the cloud seeding operation to mitigate the effects of the El Niño phenomenon in the country. The Agriculture Secretary believes the operation will be beneficial. Here's why from Ray Pelayo.
The Department of Agriculture or DA is confident in the success of cloud seeding operations to mitigate the effects of El Niño on the country's agriculture. According to Secretary Manny Piñol, it might not be 100% successful in targeting all affected areas, but the operations will definitely yield beneficial results.
Wherever it drops, it will still drop within the territory of the Philippines, and it will somehow, of course, help Philippine agriculture.
Based on the records of the Bureau of Soil and Water Management, cloud seeding operations yielded about 76% success rate during the onset of the El Niño phenomenon between 2014 and 2016. The DA has allotted 18.3 million pesos for the conduct of cloud seeding operations this year. Piñol, however, noted that the extent of damages this year is less than what they had expected, although the worth of damages had reached almost ₱500 million.
Merong konting reduction sa productivity because of the heat. But the damage is minimal because tamang-tama yung dating niya, napatapos na rin yung harvest season.
Meanwhile, former DA Secretary William Dar supports the conduct of cloud seeding as the most immediate solution in order to produce rain. Dar noted, however, that the government must also invest in long-term solutions to this recurrent problem such as reforestation.
Yung watershed areas, 18 watershed areas in the country, continuously ito yung investment area. Kaya, na dapat natin paglaanan ng investment.
Businesses like water stations are among the most affected by the current water crisis. Estelito Borja, a water station branch manager, said they have been struggling especially when pressure is low. Borja shared they have no other options but to wait since they cannot use water from Laguna de Bay or Manila Bay, which requires more treatments than the 21 stages which they do regularly.
Nako, masisira po ang membrane pag pinadaan mo po yung direktang galing Manila Bay saka yung sa Laguna Lake.
Maynilad's treatment plant in Putatan, Muntinlupa sources its water from Laguna Lake. It supplies water to 2 million customers in the eastern zone of Metro Manila. The water concessionaire now eyes sourcing water from Manila Bay, but the plan is still under consideration. Ray Pelayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Water rationing in Bagong Ilog, Pasig City today is properly conducted with the presence of Philippine National Police personnel. To monitor the water rationing, the Pasig Chief of Police deployed his personnel in the area. Leia Ilagan will tell us why.
Residents in Bagong Ilog, Pasig have been experiencing no water supply for a week now. Bringing patience with them, the residents queue their pails, plastic bottles, and other containers to fetch water from a Pasig Alliance Fire Prevention Brigade Incorporated fire truck. Some of the residents said they persevered to get water, even spending 5 hours in line or overnight.
Kagabi, may pila pa po rito, tapos inabot na ng madaling araw. Dito pa rin may mga tao. Kahit sobrang init, talagang nagtyaga silang nakapila para lang makaano ng tubig.
Despite the struggle, the residents are thankful for the help of non-governmental organizations in addressing their needs in times like this.
Papasalamat po kahit paano nakakapag po kami ng tubig sa bahay, napag-imbak. Minsan po may 10, mapuno lang yung drum. Panligo, panghugas ng mga sa bahay.
Pasig Chief of Police Senior Superintendent Zaldi Gapas meanwhile explained he deployed his personnel in the area to maintain peace and order.
Nabantayan natin yung mga distribution areas ng water para maiwasan natin yung maaaring kaguluhan dahil sa init ng ulo at nananawagan din tayo sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Pasig na natutugunan naman ng local government unit yung lahat ng pangailangan. Kaya kung meron pa man kulang sa naibibigay na ayuda ngayon sa mga kababayan natin, pwede naman nilang paratingin sa kanilang mga barangay officials.
The residents shared that they welcome the presence of the police in their barangay.
Para maiwasan din po yung initan ng ulo, yung bangayan, meron naman po nag-aalalay. Minsan ang barangay din meron. Okay naman po, wala naman mong problema.
For Pasig Alliance Fire Prevention Brigade Director Ranger Odulio, it is more difficult to manage residents who are in need of water than to respond to a fire incident.
Mas mahirap po silang sawayin kaysa po sa sunog. Dahil yung mga tao na to, talagang wala naman po silang ibang kundi makakuha lang ng tubig. Hindi kagaya sa sunog, kanya-kanya po silang labasan ng gamit, hindi nila nagagawang manggulo ng ganito.
The Philippine National Police appeals to the public to always remain calm during such situation. Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue, Pasig City.
Senatorial candidates have their own solutions to the water shortage in the country. And on day 30 of the campaign period, the opposition senatorial candidates continue to challenge the administration's bets for a debate. Grace Cassin tells us why.
The campaign of the candidates for the 2019 midterm elections are now hot as the weather, while voters in the cities and municipalities greeted them with a warm welcomes. One of the biggest issues nowadays is water shortage. Senatorial candidates each have their own solutions to such worry of the Filipinos. Ocho Derecho candidate Attorney Romulo Macalintal said the government should consider improving ways to utilize rainwater.
Pag-aaral na ginawa sa bansa ng Singapore na kung saan ang rain water harvesting system ay ipinatutupad. Yang mga tubig ng ulan iniipon, iniimbak, at pagsapit ng dry season, doon nila ito ginagamot or be treating this water during the dry spell. And I think this could also be done by our government.
Senator Bam Aquino, on the other hand, suggests the creation of Department of Water.
One of the things that we want to do is create a Department of Water. And it's time to put it all under one roof para malinaw talaga yung ating long-term plans dito.
For former Interior and Local Government Secretary Mar Rojas, there should be no discrimination on water rationing.
Importante ang rationing nga himuon nga hindi ang mga manggaranon may tubi, ang mga kubos kag imol wa tubi. Importante ina. Kaduha, importante man nga i-prioritize naton ang tubi para sa irigasyon. Kay may tubig ka para magsipilyo, may tubig ka para maligos, importante ina, no? Pero kung waay tubig para sa umahan, way kitam sang mamakaon.
Journalist Jiggy Manicat urges to use renewable energy.
Dapat talagang pinalalakas natin yung renewable sources of energy, water, solar. At the same time, nagkakaroon dapat tayo ng tamang transition from oil to RE. Kasi hindi natin kaya talaga forever mag-import. Maubusan din ang supply ibang countries. At pag silang naubusan, hindi na magbebenta sa ibang countries.
In several parts of the country, voters expressed their views on the candidates' promises.
Kasi sila, puro lang naman sila pangako lahat. Hindi rin naman nila tinutupad.
Kinukulangan pa po ako. Kulang pa, sir. Hindi naman lang po yun sa mga salita. Dapat ipakita nila sa gawa.
Sana, yung mga pangako nila, ito pa rin. Kasi yung mga pinangakuan nila, ay siyempre umaasa rin yun, di ba?
Meanwhile, opposition candidates continue to challenge administration bets to a debate, while hugpong ng pagbabago candidates say they're ready to face them.
Mabuti nga si dating Chief De La Rosa ay nagsabi na siya na payag siya magdebate. Ang tanong ko bakit yung iba parang iniiwasan pa rin nila itong ikipagharapan?
Why not? Kaso mo, sa dami ng ating mga speaking engagement ngayon, umiikot tayo sa buong Pilipinas, pero basta't libre tayo, attend tayo doon.
Since day one, sinasabi ko na anytime, anywhere, debate is okay para malaman ng tao kung sino talaga dito yung mga grandstanding lang at kung sino talaga dito yung may nilalaman, may laman yung plataforma.
Hugpong ng pagbabago, senatorial candidates are now conducting campaigns in Bicol, while Ocho Derecho are in Manila and in Region 6. The administration party PDP Laban hold their campaigns in Isabela. Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Malacanang appeals to Congress to break the impasse on the 2019 budget proposal and to deliver an appropriations law to the Filipino people. In a statement, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said it is only the Congress which can resolve and break the stalemate on the budget proposal. The official also assures the nation that the administration is prepared to cushion the impact of a reenacted budget and the delivery of public service will be maintained. Once submitted to the President, the enrolled bill will be scrutinized and then signed once proven to be in conformity with constitutional demands. Last night, President Rodrigo Duterte met the lawmakers over the 2019 budget impasse, but the two chambers were not able to come up with a concrete decision. Senate President Vicente Soto III said the President committed not to sign the budget proposal if he would not sign it. Senator Panfilo Lacson meanwhile suggested to the lower house to take back their submitted enrolled copy and retain what was ratified by both houses in the BICAM report. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA announced that they will be partially closing Estrella Service Road in Makati beginning March 23. This is to give way to the ongoing rehabilitation of Estrella Pantaleon Bridge, according to MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia. Garcia added that the closure will be from Gumamela Street to JP Rizal direction, while the other direction going to Rockwell area will remain open to motorists. As an alternative route, all vehicles coming from EDSA Rockwell are advised to turn at Gumamela Street, left at Camia Street to JP Rizal to destination. The closure is in coordination with the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH and the local government of Makati. The rehabilitation of Estrella Pantaleon Bridge aims to widen the bridge to 4 lanes from its present 2 lanes. Based on the timeline of DPWH, the project will be completed in 2021. Wishers in Surigao City get the chance to see Wish 107.5's iconic Wish Bus right in their city. Some of them even showcase their singing talents before their fellow wishers. Here's Nina Armilio to tell us why.
After an unforgettable music experience in Naga City in Bicol and Tacloban City in Leyte, the iconic Wish 107.5 bus visited the Philippine South as part of its provincial tour. The Boulevard and Gaisana Mall in Surigao City were filled with music lovers, excited to see the Wish Bus for the first time.
Sobrang happy po, kagabi pa po namin hinihintay to. Palagi po ako nag-update sa Facebook.
Well, nag-expect po ako ng magandang performance. Excited po kami kasi first time po dito sa Surigao City.
Local artists from the Caraga region, including Wish Covery Season 2 semi-finalist Vince Tingkoy and Camp Venice Grand Finalist Ana Marie Gisana, serenaded the wishers.
Sobrang laking tulong po kasi malaking exposure po ng pag-perform namin sa Wish Bus.
Napaka-blessed ko din po kasi patuloy din po yung pagkanta ko sa Wish Bus. Yung pamumuhay ko actually nagbago.
Even the wishers were given the chance to showcase their singing talents.
Why can't you hold me in the street? Why can't I kiss you on the dance floor? I wish that it could be like that. Why can't it be like that? 'Cause I'm yours.
The Wish Bus Provincial Tour aims to strengthen original Filipino music, or OPM. The iconic bus continues to discover talented Filipinos who wish to become known in the music industry. After its stop in Surigao City, the Wish Bus will head for Davao City next. Stay updated through Wish 107.5 social media accounts for the next trip of your favorite Wish Bus. Nino Armilio, UNTV News and Rescue.
Up next on Y News. Find out how millennials are responding to the water shortage that hit parts of Metro Manila. The Trump administration preparing to close its international immigration offices around the world, including in the Philippines.
This case is about the widening corruption of elite college admissions through the steady application of wealth combined with fraud. There can be no separate college admission system for the wealthy, and I'll add that there will not be a separate criminal justice system either.
Hollywood actors, CEOs accused of paying bribes, faking photos to scam U.S. college admissions in elite universities. Thank you for keeping me company in the first part of Y News. More reasons behind the stories with Angelo Castro III after this quick break.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up from where Angela Lagunzad left off. I'm Angelo Castro III. Here are the headlines.
It's all about money. I think this is really a big scam that we have to uncover. So bottom line, magaling po silang mag-fabricate. And these materials, this literature are well funded by these organizations.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines is set to provide evidence to the European Union and Belgium on CPP foreign funding. Moro Islamic Liberation Front First Vice Chairman Ghazali Jaafar passes away at the age of 75. Manila Water assures the Department of Health there is enough supply for hospitals amid the ongoing water shortage. And the Trump administration is preparing to close its international immigration offices around the world, including in the Philippines. Some parts of the country have been experiencing shortage of water supply. Lawmakers are confused if the said water shortage is caused by El Nino, but the Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System cannot impose penalties against water companies who fail to comply with their obligations to the consumer. Nel Marie Buhok tells us why.
Water sufficiency in the country has long been a challenge not only for irrigation and commercial use, but also for every Filipino household. There had been a forewarning of water shortage in the country in the 1990s. News surfaced that such a water shortage would be experienced between 1995 and 2000. Under the administration of former President Fidel Ramos, he approved Republic Act No. 8041 or the National Water Crisis Act of 1995, a law which seeks to resolve the issue on water crisis. The said law paved way for the emergency power given to President Ramos, which resulted in the privatization of the Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System or MWSS. This privatization was strengthened by some executive order and laws. In 1997, the MWSS entered into an agreement with two private companies to fast-track the service to public, not only in Metro Manila but also in neighboring provinces. The concession agreement of MWSS to Manila Water Company, the provider of water in the east zone of Metro Manila and Rizal Province, and the concession agreement to Maynilad, the water provider in the west zone or Greater Metro Manila. The obligations and plans of the two companies for the benefit of the public were detailed in the concession agreements. For example, under the 2010 Term Extension Agreement of Maynilad, they commit 100% coverage of water service in their respective areas in 2026. Also at the end of 2012, all their customers will experience 24 hours without water interruptions. But the question is, if water companies fail to comply with their obligations, are there any penalties? Will they be held liable or may the government cancel the contracts with them?
Unfortunately, wala kasi wala pa yung Department of Water and Water Regulatory Commission. And if you are reading the concession agreement, nowhere there empowers the regulatory office to impose fines and penalties.
The MWSS as a regulatory body may only stop any tariff adjustments if there are any backlogs in their targets.
Ang pananagutan na pwede lang magawin ng MWSS RO is during the rate rebasing, yung mga expenses na pwedeng maging ma-disallow.
Some groups oppose water privatization as well as some provisions of the concession agreement. Opposition groups believe this will only result in unfair water rate hike. According to a 2017 Philippine Statistics Authority report on the main source of water supply and drinking water in the country, 51% of Filipinos source their water supply from pipes connected to their homes. 24% of Filipinos get water from protected wells, while about 1% rely on rivers, streams, or ponds. 88% of Filipinos have sufficient drinking water. 6% have no available source of drinking water. The government already has plans to set in place to maintain the water sufficiency in the country. These include the Laiban, Kaliwa, and Kanan Dam projects. Some lawmakers have expected that with the creation of the Department of Human Settlements, all water system-related offices could be integrated. Meanwhile, some senators want to look into the cause of the water shortage affecting parts of Metro Manila and Rizal Province. The senators noted that while Manila Water has been experiencing supply problems, while Maynilad has not. Senator Sani Angara said the problem may be lying on the delivery of service. Senate President Vicente Sotto III, for his part, supports the move to investigate the issue. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
Manila Water assures there will be enough water supply in hospitals located in areas affected by the water shortage. Meanwhile, Rizal Medical Center in Pasig City will no longer limit the admission of patients amid the water service interruption. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
The Department of Health or DOH advises individuals to complete the Happy Birthday song when washing hands to make sure they will be thoroughly clean. But with the water shortage taking place, the DOH said it is acceptable not to complete the song when washing hands.
Happy na lang, wala na yung basta't hugasan, tapos bagalan yung daloy ng tubig, pwede na rin yun. No more birthday, happy na lang. Sige.
During the health chief's visit today in Rizal Medical Center in Pasig City, he assured that hospitals will no longer experience water shortage. Secretary Duque added that Manila Water has pledged to supply enough water in hospitals and water rationing will also be done as needed.
Uninterrupted operations of our hospitals are our priority. We cannot compromise the health of our patients. Our hospitals depend on the water supply for the hygiene and sanitation of our patients.
Starting towards the end of the week, we'll be implementing a new scheme so that the attainment of that objective for this big hospital to have a water to refill their cistern will be on a daily basis already.
With enough water supply in Rizal Medical Center, the hospital assured they will no longer limit the admission of patients. Water rationing is also being done among wards. Those in the OB ward are obliged to bring their own supply of water to clean their babies and for other needs.
Mineral, pag wala ng supply, pakahirap po kasi lalo na pag maglilinis ng baby.
Meanwhile, Secretary Duque will visit the National Kidney and Transplant Institute or NKTI tomorrow to see the condition of patients and check the supply of water in the hospital. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasig City.
Amid the frequent water interruption schedules, millennials say they can survive the day without water. Here's Monok Son to explain why.
Are you one of those who always look at the sky hoping for rain? Like what a palace official said.
Pero ang problema yata, ang tubig manggagaling sa langit. Walang ulan. Pag walang ulan, paano?
Uy, anong ginagawa mo? Wala na tayong tubig. Mag-igib ka ng tubig. Wala tayong panligo at panghugas.
Ate, wait lang. Mamaya lang ako mag-igib. Baka umulan eh. Saka bigat-bigat nito eh. Tropa, wala tubig sa amin eh. Baka pwedeng makiligo sa inyo.
Has this scene been common in your house nowadays? Because there is no water, millennials find different ways just to survive the day without water. And where else can they air their grievances? On social media. Rodson Suarez tweeted, his skin is precious as he used mineral water to bathe. Even Miguel Ventura took a bath using mineral water. Lucky for him, A convenience store is just a few steps away from his house. Until Paris Fades had a very convenient bath at her workplace with a clean and sparkling bathroom and with water. Hashtag walang tubig. Mary Rose Alquiza managed to carry a gallon of water just to be able to take a bath. Raila, on the other hand, just got unlucky. Even stores near her ran out of water. Her mom used to help her in times like this, so all she could do right now is to cry out, "Send help, mama." Just like water, this Facebook user's patience seems to be running out too. It might take another day or two or forever to fill this pitcher with this much awaited water. Scramble also took to social media to share a letter of anguish and disgrace he found in a bathroom dorm. Someone just couldn't flush the toilet bowl. Daddy Simon calls on Asia's songbird Regine Velasquez to sing for raindrops to come. Balong didn't know what to do with the hills of dishes he needed to wash. His problem? The pails in their bathroom are empty. But Justin Ross has a solution for that. His advice? Cover the plate with plastic and washing it will never be a problem. Life may be hard because of the prevailing water shortage, but you can't take away from Filipinos' contentment and patience in times of hardships. Just like what they say, chill out. Mon Hokson, UNTV, News and Rescue.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines will provide the European Union and Belgium evidence to support their claim about the front groups of the Communist Party of the Philippines. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
To stop the fundings coming from Belgium and European Union member countries, the Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP must be able to prove their claims against certain organizations that directly support communist rebels in the country. AFP Deputy Chief of Staff for Civil Military Operations, Brigadier General Antonio Parlades said they are compiling evidence to prove their allegations and will submit it to EU.
They wanted us to provide more evidences and then to file the formal complaint because during the time when we went to Europe, we didn't have the formal exploratory nga. So that's what we're doing now. We are consolidating all our evidences para i-submit sa European Union.
Around 30 organizations in Mindanao alone received donations from EU. Among them is the Rural Missionaries of the Philippines, which has reportedly received 622,000 euros. The EU plans to give 1.3 million euros more for the organization's succeeding projects. This is aside from the funds coming from the Belgian Parliament. The AFP official also revealed some legal fronts of the Communist Party of the Philippines, which aim to portray President Rodrigo Duterte as an oppressive leader in the eyes of the international community.
Ang very clear doon na nasa front page ng is this ibon and karapatan. So kaya right away yun yung binabanggit natin.
Parlade also said they want to reveal the said scam to prevent the fundings from EU and Belgium. When AFP delegation went to Europe recently, they decided to engage with the EU, the Belgian Foreign Ministry as well as the United Nations on this.
It's all about money. I think this is really a big scam that we have to uncover. So bottom line, magaling po silang mag-fabricate and these materials, this literature are well funded by these organizations, by these governments in Europe, including the EU. At kinakailangan pong malaman nila ito. So,
Rosalie Cos, UNTV, News and Rescue, Malacanang.
The first Vice Chairman of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front or MILF, Ghazali Jaafar, succumbed to a cardiovascular disease today. He was sent to a hospital in Davao City but died past 1 this morning. Jaafar was the chairman of the Bangsamoro Transition Commission, the group which drafted the Bangsamoro Organic Law. He was also the organizer of the MILF in 1968. Jaafar was also the chairman of MILF negotiating panel when peace talks started in 1997 between the government and the MILF. Malacanang, through Presidential Peace Advisor Carlito Galvez, extended condolences to the family and relatives of Jaafar. In a statement, Galvez cited the contributions of Jaafar on the passage of the Bangsamoro Organic Law. He also said that despite Jaafar's health condition, he continued to lead the Moro people and joined campaign rallies in support of BOL ratification. Galvez called Jaafar a man of peace who devoted his life for others. The United States Homeland Security Department is closing immigration offices in 20 countries, including the Philippines, as part of the Trump administration's measures to save money to fund some domestic concerns. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services spokeswoman Jessica Collins, in a statement on Tuesday, said the visa-granting agency is now on preliminary discussions on how to delegate the agency's functions and plan measures to avoid any interruptions to its services overseas. Collins said it is possible that the agency's workload would be absorbed by U.S. embassies and consulates abroad. U.S. President Donald Trump eyed closing international offices abroad to save millions of dollars each year. Currently, there are about 70 staffers employed in all 23 field offices in Great Britain, Italy, South Africa, Mexico, China, the Philippines, and other countries. Animal rights advocates has a new way of fighting for animals, right in an animal farm. Nina Armilio tells us why.
Have you ever seen sheep, pigs, chickens, turkeys, cows, and horses treated as guests in a hotel? Here at the Freedom Farm Sanctuary, animals are not for food. Founded by Eddie Trumano and Maytal Ben Ari, this animal farm is meant to rescue hurt and wounded animals from the animal industry.
The idea of Freedom Farm is to be a place that humans can meet animals that usually we find on shelves in the supermarket as animals, as living beings with names like Gary and like everybody else, Aries, Guy, and all the names we have to all the animals here. And then we know that they are not a product, they have personality, they have a name, they have a story, a rescue story.
Meet Yazi the pig. At the age of 1 week, Yazi was brutally castrated without any anesthesia. After rescue, Yazi now lives in this abode with a nameplate on the wall. This is Omer. On his first day at the farm, volunteers saw him walking in circles around himself. He is a blind baby goat. The sanctuary makes sure he is well taken care of. This is Gary the sheep. The sanctuary gave him braces on his feet after they rescued him. Say hi to Near the cow. He now walks with prosthetic legs. They are just some of the scores of animals taken care of in this Freedom Farm. Aside from free food and free shelter, the rescued animals also get free entertainment and music from volunteers. The Freedom Farm is an educational center to reconnect between human beings and animals that were rescued from the farm industries, the founders say.
I deeply believe that far from the eye is far from the heart. And if we want people to open their hearts towards these animals, we have to bring them close to the eyes, but not as we used to see them in the industries, so miserable, and not the animals that they meant to be.
The Freedom Farm Sanctuary in Israel, with a staff of around 500 volunteers, is a new Israeli enterprise based on similar models around the world. Nina Arbilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Up next on Y News.
This case is about the widening corruption of elite college admissions through the steady application of wealth combined with fraud. There can be no separate college admission system for the wealthy, and I'll add that there will not be a separate criminal justice system either.
Hollywood actors, CEOs accused of paying bribes, faking photos to scam U.S. college admissions in elite universities. And Tokyo unveils pictograms for the 2020 Summer Olympics. More reasons behind the stories when Y News returns.